out here.
Hi, my name is Carlos. I travel, I tattoo, and I take it all in. One country at a time, one tattoo at a time. Travel is what inspires me. Tattooing is what guides me. This is how I interpret the world. This is the global canvas.
Good to see you guys at 9:44 p.m. One of these days I'll start you gotta admit, I am catching my microphone being off quicker. I had zero intention of streaming tonight, but I walked by my easel and I was like, fuck it, let's just do it. So, here we are. I'm just going to play around with some background stuff tonight and answer questions, if you got them. If anybody's out there. I don't know, man. I'm just inspired right now. Kids are asleep. Wife ran out to the store. Let's be naughty and do some oil painting. Alright, let's see. So I will start on this section and then go over there depending on how long we're here today. We shall see. It's almost time for me to pour out some more pigment too, but mess with that later. Just breaking open the liquid in here that's been drying for a week and a half. Hopefully you guys can see my palette there. Let's play around. I know I'm going to be using some of these darker tones today. Let me make my pile over here. You guys can't see that. Let me make my pile up here. And there's definitely like a cool blueness to this alleyway, which is cool because it's really, the whole painting is just warm tones right now, so this will be very nice to get some cool going here. It's all throughout, but I'm just going to start by dropping them in randomly over here. I'm just straight up mixing with the tip of my brush right now. Yes, there we go. I don't know if you remember from a few videos ago, but a lot of this background that we put in, it was just gibberish because I put together the reference on Midjourney AI, and so it doesn't know how to do graffiti, but it is also photographically out of focus, which gives us a lot of clearance to pretty much put whatever we want there. There's so much, I say all the time this phrase, suggesting and not describing things, and there's so much about this painting, this reference in particular, that is like straight up just implied, you know? So much of it is, it's like all suggestion, with the exception of maybe some tattoos on her body, and like, I mean, we could barely see her face. Can't tell what's going on in the background because it's out of focus. I mean, how much cooler can that chick get? Let's see. Keep plugging in texture on this wall, and I'm gonna blow it all out with a blending brush anyway, so not that big deal, that big of a deal where I put these currently. These are big, fat, bold maneuvers we're doing right here. dropping in huge chunks of decision making. It's so satisfying going from tattooing all day to painting, where like you can cover an area of a painting in 55 seconds rather than having to worry about building up and taking breaks when client is having too much. Had a good day today. It was a good tattooing day. And I'm gonna orange it up a little bit. I got this pale violet and just gonna warm that a little bit before we start blowing stuff out. I don't have a mole stick, but I am gonna try to throw a straight line right here. It's a little cheater pumpkin eater, but who cares? Such is art. Talking with my producer a little bit ago about travel TV programming and how there's 2 new shows coming out, or maybe already out. There's one, a travel show with Stanley Tucci, and it's travel food. They both are. And then the other one is one with Tony Shalhoub. It's called Breaking Bread, which is also the name of the podcast I like, so we'll see how well that turns out. But it's cool. It's good to know that CNN is still investing in travel shows. Maybe one day I'll ask them to invest in my travel show. No. That's okay. That's fine. That'll be. That was wifey peeking in to say that she forgot to get tea at the store. And that she loves me. You all know what true love is. It's getting tea at the store. And then forgetting. And then saying I love you. Okay, so I got some tones down there. Let's blend them out. Using this big old mop brush. This brush got kind of chewed up. I don't know if it's focusing right now, but it got kind of chewed and chiseled. So I assume this would leave like a bunch of stroke marks, like scratchy marks. This is barely even. That's alright. It's still helpful. Alright, now I got a lot of that lighter blue coming through, so I'm going to darken that up a bit. Go a little bit darker on some of these spots because coming through. Flying out to Los Angeles, as is Kelly, as is my friend Joe, in a couple days. After tomorrow. Flying out to Los Angeles to go get tattooed and to do some filming for my travel show. And it will probably be one of the most painful tattoo sessions I ever have in my life. And will be one that we will document, of course. but it'll also be one that changes my stream because I'm getting this entire area of my underjaw tattooed, and so it'll always be on camera. So we are currently in the before times, and then at a certain point we'll be in the times where my throat was tattooed again. It's big news for people who don't care. It doesn't matter. None of this matters. Okay. I think that's my main message to anybody, anywhere, ever, is that none of this matters. All good. Let's just have fun. Splotch some paint in there. Take a nice soft brush, blur this out. Push it into the background. You guys are enjoying the stream. I got one diehard so far that's been watching and commenting and supporting all my stuff. But that's like, not to disparage people for not watching every single day. I'm just saying that I got one dude that is always active and asking questions, and that makes me very happy. Terrible. I'm gonna buff it this way though, even though it's a no-no. Normally if I'm blending it out, I'm gonna go with the direction of the stroke and just dance on either side of it to blend it into the background, but it's a little bit too harsh, so as is this over here, so I'm gonna kind of go up and down cross-hatchy style. Buff this area, put that in the background. I also wanted to get another session in on this painting because when we do go to Los Angeles, we'll be gone for this week, and I won't be able to paint anymore this week because we'll be on the road. I know my hand is obstructing a lot over here. I'm just kind of buffing out some of these shapes over here. It's contributing to the mud, but that's okay. Because we can always, what? Say it with me, folks. Tune it later. Alright, that's good for over there. I am going to grab a different brush and toss in some of the yellow graffiti shapes. Not much, but to get something on the canvas, set it up as maybe like an underlayer for one of the next times we paint. Still don't know what I'm going to put here for this graffiti, but I'll just make some random dark calligraphy shapes with def metal. Just put my band logo on there, to be honest. Yeah, some death metal-y type graffiti shapes, and then if I do choose to lean into that later, then perfect opportunity to sneak in some subliminal stuff. I think I should really do like a lot of graffiti in this wall. I think that'd be awesome. Because I could put whatever I want in there. It's my alleyway. It's my imagination, or I mean, it's a Mid-Journey picture. It's my interpretation of the reference, and it's garbage AI. So put the human touch in there, no problem. Just to get some dark calligraphy shapes real quick. to get a base. I think this side would definitely be good for some like white spray paint. There's painters out there watching right now that are so pissed. You need to be more calculated. What are you doing? It's like, I'm just blocking in shapes. Chill out, man. Here, let me really piss off somebody out there. I'm gonna put in an old tag over here that isn't even in the reference. There, take that. Wahahaha. Okay, let's come over here now. Do a little bit on that side. So far in my reference photo, there's a lot of darks over there that don't appear anywhere in my painting so far. Let me start using this bright flat brush here and just kind of jot in some darker shapes. It does get a little bit darker and richer as it comes over here, so I'll mix up some French ultramarine blue, some alizarin crimson, some black, and some raw umber. Make a warmer black tone, almost like a super deep burgundy. Mr. Burgundy! It's so much easier, and I'm not blaming anybody for anything here, but it's so much easier to do this quiet without narrating what I'm doing. Then we would not have a show, would we? Dark tones blocked in there. I'm going to drop window or some shit there. And that will for sure be buffing this stuff out, but I'm gonna deviate from my reference first and put like a little ledge in here. There's a little windowsill. That's my perspective one right there. I need it to be like right there. Just like a little window ledge. And I want to get another perspective line over here. I will use my cheater pumpkin eater tactic again here. Yeah. Sorry, throwing some hella shadows here. Abra. Beautiful. Vertical, stay vertical. Horizontals go to the single point, vanishing point. And other things you hear high school art teachers say. I don't remember too much from my continuing ed course I took at Schoolcraft Community College for oil painting, except that there's a lady, God bless her soul, there's a lady who sat behind me and was watching what I was doing. And I had been an experienced painter at that point. I was just taking a continuing ed course to sharpen skills with oils because I needed to know how to use them. But I was, doing acrylics for years before that. And she was just, enjoying a hobby, something to get her out of the house. And one day we had to do a little module on an expressionist painting. And the teacher said, just paint something that you like or something that you're really passionate about. So I did this whole piece of like the Twin Towers falling with money exploding out of them and raining down over a cemetery. And it was this big pretentious piece. And I just heard the lady behind me crying, and the teacher's like, what's going on? And she's like, I'm no good at this. And she gestured towards my painting, and the teacher looked at me and rolled her eyes, and I just kind of smiled like, Pretty cool. Alright, I need to buff some of this stuff out. Just realized I tossed a whole bunch of kismet in there and didn't make any effort to smooth any of it. So I'm going to go in with some wicked pressure here. This brush sucks. Buff that, and now I'm going to come back with a much more controllable knot brush, something smaller. Take care of some of these lines here. And if you could see what I'm doing, I'm just buffing out the edges. Bob Ross would say 2 hairs and some air. Just a little gentle touch to blur out any hard lines. We're still final detail, sharp focus realism here. We're still creating the underpainting, believe it or not. We're probably 6 hours into this project, if you've been following the playlist, and still I have yet to give anybody like a stroke of the painting that isn't a foundation layer. I regret nothing. This is who I am. This is what I do. Alright, so in my reference here, I have a dark edge that just doesn't appear in my painting yet. So I'm going to go ahead and drop something like that in there. Use this straight edge here. Here's a tattoo where I should know how to draw a straight line here. And that motherfucking bitch still crooked. I'm not supposed to do those voices. Nice. Let's get a little bit sharper edge here. ass tones coming up here. That's what I was looking over there. I'm gonna grab my little mop brush and blend that out. And then why not, we'll throw a couple light shines in the background there. Use this filbert brush just because I gotta clean it tonight, so I might as well. It's like getting dirty right before you are gonna hop in the shower anyway. I gotta clean this brush, let's just make it kind of muddy. Putting like big key, like, I don't want to use the term keystroke because I am about to blur these out, but when you're putting these big like committed strokes in there, especially with like a filbert brush that's got some bounce on it, don't be afraid to Cadet, hey, how are you today? Hey, hello people. I got a couple other people in here. So don't be afraid to like put pressure down and kind of like get your bearings and then pull it. You know what I mean? You don't have to be like, and like, you know, glaze into it, gracefully like slide into the brush stroke. To answer your questions, thank you, Algebra. To answer your question, I'm doing good. I didn't even, really feel like streaming tonight, but I just kind of looked around the house and wife ran to the store, kids are already asleep, I got nothing going on. Right, I guess we'll get one more session in before I go to Los Angeles to get my throat tattoo. The guy that's tattooing my throat, his name's Dean. On Instagram he goes by the handle 7th Dean. And Dean is the most heavy-handed, brutal tattooer I've ever had work on me, to the nth degree, but his stuff is so good and he's quick, and it's like an honor to get tattooed by him. So I'm very much looking forward to what will be likely one of the most painful sessions I ever sit for. You're giving me something interesting to watch while I trim my hair. Okay. Don't tell me which hair you're trimming, but it sounds good. I haven't cut my own hair in a while. I got a pretty dope barber, to be honest. His name's Barber Mario 313. Well, I don't know what his Instagram handle is anymore. It did change in the last couple of years, but Barber Mario, find him on Instagram. He's the barber to the stars in Detroit sports and Detroit entertainment. But when I did used to do my hair by myself, it was always a fun moment to be able to shave my head and start from scratch. I always remember the head shave day being pretty therapeutic. So who are you, Cadet? A lot of people that I chat with are tattoo clients, and you don't have to reveal yourself if you're a tattoo client, but you're living behind your YouTube handle. And if you would just found me on YouTube, then even cooler. Alright, so that out there. Bad on Fire fan, if you could believe it. Awesome. I'm happy that has staying power for you. I've been going back and I found a hard drive that had all my old hip-hop stuff on it, stuff that I thought was lost forever, including like B-sides and website exclusive songs that would definitely be nowhere. And turns out we have it all. I was driving earlier today thinking about my music and my music career, and I was like, I've produced quite a bit of material if you think about it. And then I was like, let's stop and do the math. So I'm not even going to count my first rap group that I had in high school because it was mostly Jack Beats. This is before we had the term mixtapes. And it was like 7 EPs, but I mean, that doesn't really count because we were knocking them out in like a week, so whatever. But if I go to my series projects that were performed on stage that I put my time and effort into, there were, for my first rap project, big rap project, Dramadeus, there was Modern Prometheus, there's Day of Wrath, there was Dramadeus Enigma, there was Cross My Art, and there was Together We Can Destroy the World. So 5 full-length albums there. And then with the Cellar Mannequin project, 2 full-length albums there. So that's 7. And then with Bad on Fire, we had 4 albums. We had the Pirate one, we had the Raft of the Medusa, we had Escape from Hades, and we had the Jack the Ripper album. And then I did so that's 4, is that what I said? So 4 and 9, so we're at 11 so far. And then I did the full-length Napoleon Blown Apart album, that's 12, and then this full-length Goliathus album, that's 13. So it's quite a lot of material. And I am about it. I just write all the time. Even like when I'm not really thinking about or caring about being in a band, I'm still making music. Just another one of the hobbies. Another one of the passions. Alright, so writing is good for the soul and the mind. Tis. I think the flow state is the most important thing in the world, and if you don't know what that means, like when you've been doing something for long enough, like your 10,000 hours, your body takes that thing and reorganizes in your brain how it works, and it goes based off of your intuition rather than your intention. Which is why tattooers who've been doing it for a while are just talking the whole time that they're tattooing. It's because the process can take itself over from there. It doesn't really need the artist to do anything hyper focused, right? It just kind of comes out, it just kind of happens. So anyway, when you're in that zone, we call it the flow state, when everything's just flowing and grooving. And even if I'm not working on a large project at the time, I'll still pick up another project just to maintain flow. Just so that every day at some point I'm in flow state. And it actually turns out that when I don't get that, I get bouts of depression. If anybody's ever curious if I'm serious about my art, it's like, yeah, if I don't do it, I'm gonna die. I'm just blocking in some shapes that I see in the background. Here, I'm sorry for my reference. Yesterday's session, we were working on identifying some more shapes in this ballerina figure. We were carving in like the shape of a outer silhouette and getting some more believable shadows in here, a little bit more detail in here. Got a long way to go on this piece still, but yesterday was a nice productive session. I think, I mean, I don't have too much I can really fuck with tonight, but I don't want to get off the chat because I'm having a good time with you guys. So I think what I'll do is I'll put a couple of bright reflective highlights in here, and then I'll pull in a couple more cement texture tones, and then we'll call it. How's that sound? We're 38 minutes and see if we can take it to 40 or 45 or 50. Sound good? Sound good. I mean, it is difficult. Painting is difficult, but if you know how to do it, like if you know the recipe, then it's therapeutic. When you're just picking it up, or if you don't know what you're going for, that is the hardest part, is having like that block. But you know, if you've been doing it for a while, I learned later in life. It's not like I just picked it up, or I'm sorry, it's not like I was born with it. I picked up painting when I was 19, believe it or not. So I'm 40 now, so I've been doing it for 21 years, but with a hiatus in the middle there. But what was I even bothering to say about all that? Oh, like nobody's born with it. Nobody picks up a guitar for the first time and shreds like fucking the kid from Bolivia or Slash or whatever. It takes time. You gotta learn it. Learn the skills, develop the skills, and I think I read a diary from a realist painter named Gustave Courbet. Gustave Courbet, I think. And he was saying, in his best approximation, like, you're not born with it necessarily, but there is a archetype that will probably be an artist. And he said the key thing to look for is if, when you're a kid, you're interested in looking at things and learning about them, specifically in nature. So if you like nature-based things as a kid, and you love like learning about like the zebra's stripes or the rings on an earthworm, then you're probably going to be an artist. Or if you're a deceitful fuck, you're probably an artist. Because it's the same mechanism in the brain that holds a lie, that holds a truth while you're fabricating a lie. It's the exact same muscle in the brain that holds the reference and tries to recreate it on canvas. And I fucked up. When I learned that, I decided to actively try to push against that because I didn't want to be an ugly, deceitful person. These little I call them keystrokes. These little like highlight strokes that are making the wall look like a little wet. Super fun. And to get a little contrast, a little pop on that wall too, right? I feel like this is like a walk-up window. Like I could put like a kitchen in there, like in the background, and maybe like a neon sign. I wouldn't do the neon sign. I'd skip that. I forget that I said that. Don't tell anybody I said that. Because then that would put too much light in the background. That would kind of fuck up what we're doing here, lighting wise. But it would be kind of fun to put somebody back there working. Now that we got that there, I'm going to selectively buff out the highlights here that are too sharp, because I do not want sharpness messing up my overlayering later. I'm gonna keep things nice and soft. Getting a little better, getting a little something, building up. Yeah, you like that? You like the irony of me saying don't tell anybody I said that on a live stream that's going to be in a playlist forever? No worries, my friend. Yeah, if you set up the notifications, I sound like a real streamer now. Set up your notifications. But if you set up the notifications, I always try to set up the broadcast early enough to pop up on people's notification feeds, and then when I start my stream, I let the intro stream starting soon banner run for like 5 minutes so that people can get time to get caught up, and then we jump right in. I try to keep my microphone mixed so it's not a disgusting ASMR video and it's just fun to listen to me chat. So that's me looking out for you guys on that back end. Hell yeah, thank you for enabling the notifications. You get a crisp high five. Alright, I'm just bullshitting. I shouldn't even be dealing with these shapes right now because I said I was going to do some of the cement, so let's do that. Let's jump in with my dirty brush that I have to clean tonight anyway and do some cement. There are some cooler tones that I see in the cement, and right now it's really warm from my underpainting that I do, if you haven't seen it yet, back in episode 1. And that's a very deliberate tactic. I wanted to have a warm underpainting to help push, to help build the believability of the shadow shapes. But I need to I gotta cool it off. So I'm just gonna start plugging in some cooler tones here. Blend her hair into there a little bit better. I'm all blue. I'm blotting in some texture with the brush. And I'm going to make it more textured towards the foreground because you would actually see that, and then in the background as it dissipates into the horizon there you would not see as much texture. And I'm going to do a little bit of a cross-hatching technique on this too. Once I get these texture blots in, I'll buff out the lines, but I'll go left to right rather than up and down. So it really obscures a lot of the modded brush strokes. I don't know. dropped out of school, so don't believe anything I say. So, algebra. Are you like a math professor or something? Is that why algebra? BRUH? It sounds like a podcast name. A bunch of super bros that are really into modern physics. There's a war in the chats. I want to say like math would probably be one of my hardest skills, or like, you know, the most difficult, because I'm so right-brained and like such a holistic thinker, not a logical thinker. But I think that's like settled science that was bunk. The whole like, if you're left brain, then your right brain will slack, and then vice versa. It's getting something. I don't know if it's getting where I need it to go, but that's okay, because we're going to layer the book out of this painting, so we'll do as many passes as we need to. And it's too early for me to like focus on the little like leaves on the ground, or honestly even the perforations in the cement blocks. It's kind of early for that too, so that would be a nice thing to be able to see. What I'm painting right now is slightly off camera, sorry about that, but I'm just chiseling in the lower edge at the bottom, hating what I'm doing, so I have a old friend from way back in the day, and his older brother is a math professor, and I had asked him once, like, you know, tell me something scary that I need to know about math. And he's like, I don't really do like the big picture physics stuff, but I can tell you that if you took 40 random people and put them in a room together, there's a 50% chance that 2 of them will share a birthday. I was like, whoa. He's like, yeah, it's not that fascinating, it's just basic probability. That's 40 random people, right? And if we got like, that's likely going off of the 8 or 9 billion mark, and not the 350 million mark that we have in the US. I'm gonna have to find Professor JP and give him some shit. I don't understand your theorem, sir. So just, like I said, blotting in some textures here. I'm trying to make the ground look rougher, you know? Where are we at? We were at 51, so we're on our way out for the stream. I have to let this painting sit for a week, because we're going to be in Los Angeles filming. Maybe I should do something fun before we go. Let's get crazy. Let's get wacky. Let's do something ill-advised and drop in some texture that we can and probably will go over layer with glazing, so it's not like it's going to be permanent, but let me get naughty here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up a little bit of like a cool light white gray, so I can texturize a little bit of the cement in the extreme foreground, like basically her feet and forward. see if it shows up on camera. I don't even know if this will. It is awesome, but it's not showing up on camera. So I'm gonna go a little bit more extreme with this effect, and then that'll close out our stream tonight. Right, mop brush. I'm gonna do your worst. Ready? Here we go. Some texture. See that? Yeah, you can see it if I move my fucking hand out of the shot. Alright, I'm gonna do a little bit over here. I will do my best to make sure not to obscure anything. Here we go. All I did was jam a bunch of, let's see if I can focus on this. I took the bristles straight and went straight down into this like cool whitish gray tone. Pick it up over here. So, and then now that it's got like, and I need to learn how to focus on my cameras. Now that it's got some chunkiness to it, I'm just poking the canvas and it's depositing some texture dots. And I'm only inspired to do this right now because we're about to take like a week break from painting because, as I've said a billion times already, I'm going to get tattooed this week and doing some filming. So I will be out of town, but I'll still do like live streams from the road. I actually have some stuff on my schedule to do while we are out on the road. Just won't be oil painting related. See how the texture's working out? What do you think? Yeah, I can't act like I'm not a provocateur when it comes to discussions. Definitely one of my things. To push envelopes and get opinions and get canceled for my opinion. Thank you. I feel like, and again, it's early as fuck to be adding detail, but I think just by adding a little bit of this texture to the cement, it gives it some more fun and some more believability, and moving forward, like the photographic effects are going to start to get more and more powerful and noticeable, and I'm just kind of showing off right now, that's all. But later, shit's gonna get wild. Appreciate you follow your heart. I appreciate you following my heart. And by heart, I mean my brand new YouTube channel. Before we go, favorite cartoon from when you were a kid? Rocco's Modern Life. Oh, Rocco. I think Ralph Beckett was one of the best characters on that show. Everybody loves Filbert. And Filbert was not Johnny Brennan from the Jerky Boys, but holy shit, he sounded like Johnny Brennan. Doing like Saul on Family Guy. Quick, Peter, curl up into an ass ball or something. Alright, that's good. I'm gonna call it quits right here. Thanks for swinging by. Appreciate hanging out. Keep those notifications set up. And I see that both of you got them now too, so that's cool. Jump in and give me a reason to do this, a reason to chat, you know? Once we're back in town and it's more oil painting time, I'll try to do like 3 that week. Just so as to catch up. But until next time, peace.